Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a max effort bench press day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. Alright, the goal at this point, just retain as much strength as I can. I mean, if I can get a little bit of bench PRs, I'd like to get them, but I am slowly bringing down body weight, getting ready for Worlds. At the end of the day, I'm not going to have an amazing bench this time. We accept that. You know, we'll get 405 next year. It's going to happen on the platform. Not going to happen this year. And probably not in this weight class for sure. So I ended up just ramping up till it got heavy. And, you know, I did 345 because I was just going to see where I could go. I'm like, felt pretty close to a max, but I wanted to make one more jump. I didn't feel like I could do 365 today, which would be a PR for the wider grip, because I've done it closed grip. But we went for 355, which is technically a 5-pound PR, 5-pound PR, and I got it. It was grindy, and I hit the upright. You guys are at the top, people who are like, oh, you're struggling with the lockout. No, I hit the upright with the left side. I've got to work on finding my position of getting far enough away from the J hooks with this grip. I haven't found that perfect spot yet. So again, I need a little practice there. So I hit the upright. But I was slow near the top. I didn't slow until the mid-range. It was fast off the chest. All right, that's a good sign. As I need to continue that trend as a raw bencher, especially going to a bit wider grip. As someone who's been stronger close grip, if I can keep that speed up right off the chest, I'm in a very good place. So I am happy about that part. Slowed in the middle. All right. Really tells me that the pecs are a bit of a limit, which means I need to do higher rep work. Hey, the 5s are not going to cut it. 5s are not going to cut it. And we have data on that. That's not something that I'm saying arbitrarily. I've seen Greg Knuckles do an extensive write-up on the data. And, you know, and we can talk smack about nerd stuff all that we want. But, you know, he's benched over 400 pounds in competition raw. And he's talking about the nerd stuff. All right, so, you know, this is reasonable. All right, this is reasonable to say maybe he knows what he's talking about with the data, his analysis of the research. I'm not saying I agree with everything Greg says. But I've definitely seen him go into the data quite a bit regarding rep ranges on the bench. The higher reps in the 8+ range tend to work more chest. Okay? As we get into lower reps, it becomes more delt and tricep dominant. So do you guys see where I'm going with this? It means I'm going to keep working the delts and triceps for the maxing. But we probably need to be doing the pressing itself, which is what works my pecs. In the higher rep ranges, you know, they need to be 8+. So I did 3x10 on that. I was going to try to do 3x10 on incline, but I struggled with it today. I dropped the weight down to what I thought I could get 10s with. Was hoping, because I was doing, you know, 5s last time. The first set here was really tough. First set was tough. Mainly getting that bar path down, and because I get so tight at the bottom. There's such an intense stretch on my chest. Combine that with the fact that my lats get in the way. Right, that it's like compressing a spring. So there is that. But, you know, again, we talk about the chest stretch, talk about the front delts. Okay. Incline will get you strong out of the bottom. And I know what we're seeing on the possible weak links, this maybe isn't the best movement for that. But incline will get me strong out of the bottom. It really will. So I want to keep that speed up out of the bottom. And if I keep sticking in the mid-range, I'll quit worrying about incline. Okay. But I also want to make sure I can eventually get 405 fast out of the bottom. So, you know, the question becomes, well, wait, you know, if you keep sticking in the mid-range, what's your solution? Floor press, decline work. All right. Those are viable solutions, right? Incline will get you strong out of the bottom. I mean, we could argue about where the McDonald bar fits in there, the cambered bar work. I think we can make the case for those getting us stronger out of the bottom, though. Block out, close grip. And, of course, more tricep work. But, I mean, I'm working all those angles. So, I mean, we could also say that, am I slowing near the lockout? Maybe. By hitting the uprights, is that still a sign of weak triceps? So that's kind of what the decision I have to make as a coach. I hit that upright. I didn't hit that upright 10 pounds lighter in the same spot. Okay, do you see where we're going with this? It meant the bar is drifting more towards the face with that extra 10 pounds. That's also potential tricep lockout weakness. Right? So I'm going to keep hammering. Went hard on the band press downs. I don't think that I need the stretch position, lengthening position tricep work at the moment for my bench. I've been doing some of it, but that doesn't seem to be where my weak links are. So I'm going to hammer the band work again harder, which also brought my close grip up. I'm happy about that. Dumbbell rows. These are a staple movement for me these days. Staple movement for me. And I've been working on getting stronger at them. We got 3x10 again with the 115s today. That feels like my limit. I don't know that I can handle more than that. I'm debating if I need to throw in some hammer curls. I might need to at some point. Keep the forearms and biceps growing. You know, which again may help my bench. But again, making sure the middle and upper back and the grip are all getting trained. We did that, and then we did inverted rows. And granted, I know I'm at a pretty heavy body weight though, guys. I'm using a pretty wide grip on these, so yes, I'm doing them unweighted. 3 sets of 15. But I also just did the other rows immediately beforehand, so I'm fatigued. All right, it makes a difference versus doing these fresh. All right, so that's what we did. So 6 total sets of pulling. 6 sets of pressing. So 2 different exercises for each one. Making sure the delts are getting worked. Decided to do lateral raises today with the dumbbells instead of front raises. And I'm going to work front raises in still from time to time. You avoid overuse rotating stuff. But I feel like the front delts really got worked very, very hard today, especially the incline benching. You know, they got a lot of sets, so I want to make sure the whole delt does get worked and the whole shoulder girdle. Stimulus to fatigue, this is one of the better lifts. I do like the upright rows, and I'll do some probably most weeks, but lateral raises are really, really great on the stimulus versus fatigue. They just don't train the grip in the biceps also. As far as delts go, though, fantastic. So the first, 3 sets I did supersets because it's easy for me to just put them in that position while I did the band work. Bands, I did 10 sets. Did 10 sets of 30, and I got about 35 or so on the last set. I took it all the way out. All right, so here's the thing with the bands. They made my arms a lot bigger. Made my triceps bigger recently. They took my close grip way up to where my close grip, technically my best close grip in the last month or so, has been better than this wide grip. Now, people are going, why don't you just continue that trend with close grip? Because I know that I'm going to be stronger with wide grip eventually. It just has more potential. But I've got to address my weak links. But I will continue to train triceps, and I'll probably have some weeks where I do close grip. So if my close grip just continues to be better and better and better, we just have to accept that. But as long as I train triceps, my close grip will go up if I train them with this much workload. All right. Now, for some people, I also had someone ask me the other day, why aren't you locking these out? I am. I'm going through my full lockout, but because of the speed at which it reverses, you barely notice it. Also, my lockout of my actual joint, of my arm, doesn't look like most people's lockouts. Like, again, especially the double jointed people. Like if you guys watch me do those flexes at the end, that is full lockout. That's as far as I can lock my arms. When you see it from this angle, you see certain angles it looks more locked out, but think about the biomechanics of the angle you're seeing. It's still just as bent. And that's just my bone structure. It's my bone structure. But this works the lockout itself super hard because you're hitting that stretch reflex and the overspeed eccentric. But it also, again, we build tendons, build tendons, build tendons. And that always keeps me in a place to keep my elbows very, very healthy when I do other tricep work, when I work stuff like the J-arm presses and stuff back in, which we will probably eventually do. Right, it keeps me in a good position to do that. But, 10 sets of these today so that we made sure the triceps got a lot of work. And the tendons. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.